Latest news in North Central Washington, go to ncwlife.com or find us on Facebook. Got a news tip? Email us at news@ncwlife.com or call 888-2020.
Good Wednesday evening and welcome to the NCW Life Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window from our beautiful cross-camera Sky-Fi Tower cam, looking down at the beautiful Wenatchee Valley. And it was a warm one out there today. We did have a bit of a breeze, which helped matters somewhat today, but temperatures last I looked in the upper 80s to around 90 degrees. And that's just to start, folks. Get ready for a very hot stretch of days. In fact, tomorrow and on Friday will be a couple of our hottest days over the next 5 days. These are actually high temperatures, possibly on Friday. Wenatchee's showing 94. I think we might even get hotter than that, and hotter than that tomorrow with highs on Thursday into the mid and maybe even upper 90s. And it doesn't look like much relief in sight. We'll tell you how long this heat wave might last coming up a little bit later on in your weather forecast. And now a few of the news stories we're following for you tonight. A Marysville motorist was killed overnight in an accident on US 97 Blewett Pass. Fortunately, no injuries reported in this accident that happened this morning in East Wenatchee, and bail has been set for the Wenatchee man charged with running his ex-girlfriend off the road and causing her death. But first, we begin tonight with updates on area fires. The winds that pushed a wildfire toward homes in the Crescent Bar area yesterday evening have subsided, giving firefighters the break they needed to contain it. State troopers say the fire ignited from sparks from a blown tire. It was fanned by 30-mile-per-hour gusts and within minutes triggered level 3 evacuation notices for residents in the Mansfield Road area. Traffic was slowed along Highway 28 in the Trinidad area as crews from Chelan, Grant, and Douglas counties, along with the State Department of Natural Resources, responded. At last report, the fire had been put under control and all evacuations were lifted. No reports of structure damage or injuries. Well, there was a new fire to report yesterday morning, and that was in the Upper Valley near Leavenworth. Forest Service firefighters responded to a fire yesterday in the Beaver Creek area, approximately 12 miles northwest of Leavenworth. It's on the Wenatchee River Ranger District, also the Okanagan-Wenatchee National Forest. A member of the public reported the fire Tuesday morning. The fire is estimated at 2 acres in size and is burning in heavy timber and dead and down fuels. That number down from a reported 6 acres on Tuesday. About 50 firefighters are fighting the blaze, including an engine, 3 helicopters, and an air attack plane. 1 tanker load of retardant was also used on the fire. A helicopter base is being set up at Fish Lake Airstrip. The public is advised to be cautious while driving in the area due to both increased fire and aircraft traffic. There are currently no road or trail closures in place and no structures at risk and no evacuation levels in place as well. This morning, that fire was declared contained. Well, another fire to talk about. Managers report the Little Camas fire is now 74% contained as crews begin the process of mopping up hot spots within the containment perimeter. They say heavy fuels within that perimeter will continue to burn, but it appears the fire is in its death throes as calmer conditions allow crews to make headway. The Level 1 evacuation notice for the Camas Meadows Bible Camp and neighboring homes have been lifted. Some hiking trails remain closed, however. The fire is estimated at 394 acres. A Marysville motorist was killed overnight in an accident on US 97 Blewett Pass. State troopers say it happened shortly before 2 a.m., about 24 miles south of Leavenworth. The 73-year-old victim was southbound when his Kia Sorrento left the roadway and rolled over. The cause is under investigation. The driver, whose name was withheld, died at the scene. Fortunately, no injuries reported in this accident that happened this morning in East Wenatchee. Emergency crews responded to the accident around 8:20 at the intersection of 25th Street Northwest and Northwest Cascade Avenue. Apparently, the SUV struck a guide wire at the intersection, causing it to roll over. No word yet on the official cause of that accident or if the driver will be charged. Bail has been set for the Wenatchee man charged with running his ex-girlfriend off the road and causing her death. On Monday, bail was set at $1 million for 26-year-old Carlos Carranza Ibarra. Ibarra was charged with second-degree murder after he struck a vehicle driven by 24-year-old Jessica Qualley of Quincy Saturday morning. It was on Highway 28, forcing her SUV to roll into an irrigation ditch where she died from her injuries. Carranza Ibarra then fled the scene, escaped capture by Quincy police, and was later apprehended at a residence in Wenatchee. Carranza Ibarra had 3 active warrants when he was taken into custody, including 2 in Chelan County for a no-contact order violation, that in connection to an alleged 2016 domestic violence assault against his boyfriend. Arraignment has been set for July 23rd. Coming up next, nearly 200 Republicans gathered yesterday at Rocky Reach Dam for the annual GOP barbecue. Due to a poor return of salmon, a popular fishery in the Upper Columbia River will be closing early, and a new Kashmir City Council member was sworn into office this week. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCW Life Evening News.
Hi, Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. When you think of Alpine Air in Wenatchee, think of professional, friendly customer service for all your heating and cooling needs. Alpine Air partners with Carrier, manufacturers of some of the best heating and air conditioning equipment available today. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Visit our store in Wenatchee, meet our people, see our shop. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
It's a free walk-in job search assistance center. It is designed to help job seekers with the tools that they need to find a job. We have partnered with libraries in 5 other cities, providing the same types of services that we offer here, just there.
Just walk in, we have laptops, and we can help you with resume, cover letter.
All of our services are paid for by the revenues earned in our store. Goodwill is just a tool that the community is using to help their neighbors find a job. Goodwill, there's more behind the store.
Where will you be a year from now? You could be working as a medical assistant. The Charter College Medical Assistant Certificate Program gets you work ready in 10 months. Add 5 more months to earn an associate degree. We prepare you with hands-on training and support you after graduation with job search help and interview skills. Institutionally accredited by the Accrediting Bureau of Health Education Schools, Charter has been training healthcare professionals for more than 30 years. Charter College. We work to get you to work.
Welcome back. In another news, nearly 200 area Republicans gathered yesterday at Rocky Reach Dam for the annual GOP barbecue. Those in attendance included Representative Mike Steele, 12th District candidate Keith Gaynor, and Chelan County Superior Court Judge candidate Travis Brandt. Also, a surprise visit from U.S. Senate candidate Susan Hutchinson, who will face off with incumbent Washington Senator Maria Cantwell. Dino Rossi, running for the U.S. House seat held by a retiring Dave Reichert, told the faithful that the 8th district race will be decided by Eastern Washington voters.
You know, this district, though, 18% of this district is in Eastern Washington. You folks in this room control this race. You control this race. 18% can sway this entire election if everybody votes. If you get everybody you know to vote, get your neighbors to vote, get your kids to vote, get everybody to vote.
So far, Rossi is the lone Republican to declare his candidacy for the congressional seat, along with 11 independent and Democratic candidates. Well, due to a poor return of salmon, a popular fishery in the Upper Columbia River will be closing early. NCW Life's Eric Granstrom sat down with Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife Commissioner Dave Grable to find out what happened.
This is a result of that very bad drought and warm water year we had in 2015. So this return of this year's fish were the ones that took that hit from that occasion. And so our summer run return was much lower than originally forecast, and it has not reached levels predicted to pass over Priest Rapids Dam that'll allow us to continue the fishery past this Sunday.
A lot of people look at the dam counts and they look at numbers and, wow, over Bonneville things are looking good, and up here things are looking good, but those that help set seasons and make those determinations look at something a little bit different than what we're looking at as the general public, correct?
I just learned this, Eric, and it's actually the Technical Advisory Committee that's composed of people from both Washington and Oregon, and based on what they use, in the legal definitions of US v. Oregon and Washington to establish salmon seasons, they begin their counts 2 weeks after the sites that we always look at. They convert the salmon runs from spring to summer on June 1st. They don't do that until June 21st, I believe. It's 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
2 weeks later,
Okay.
excuse me.
Okay.
Yes, and so what we're looking at, again, I was like you, oh my goodness, we have over 50,000 over Bonneville, but subtract 2 weeks of returns, and then you see that we are not going to hit the magic numbers that are required to open the season and extend the season.
Economically speaking, this has a pretty big impact for the Upper Columbia, doesn't it?
It does. I think first of the many friends that we have that operate as guides during the summer run season. For many of them, I believe it is their most important season in terms of booking trips and generating revenue for their services. But then there's also the communities of Pateros, Entiat, Wenatchee, and Brewster that really feel the impact. And also, we've had to cancel now the derbies, very popular derbies in Wenatchee and in Brewster too.
We're still waiting on official word from the State Department of Fish and Wildlife, but Grable tells us the fishery will close Sunday at midnight. The good news for local anglers is that the sockeye returns are larger than forecast. We'll have more on that side of the story coming up tomorrow right here on the NCW Life Evening News. A new Kashmir City Council member was sworn into office this week. Chris Carlson was selected to fill the seat vacated by Jim Fletcher after he was appointed to replace Jeff Gomes as interim mayor. Carlson is an architect employed by the state as a construction project manager. His council seat is up for election next year. Well, on Thursday at their regular meeting, the Wenatchee City Council will once again be presented with proposed voting district changes by City Attorney Steve Smith at a public hearing. The council will then decide whether to maintain its current at-large format or go to a district format, which could change Wenatchee's form of city governance. The City Council will eventually vote whether to create 7 or 5 voting districts. Wenatchee's Executive Services Director Allison Williams says this is something the council has been considering for 2 years.
Currently, our city council members are elected at large, which means that we have 7 positions and they can be anywhere as long as they live within the city limit. And what this process would do would be to divide the city into voting districts. And so therefore, you would run in that district both at the primary and general election. It is the whole conversation about representation of your population. And so in our city, we have almost 24% of our population is Hispanic or Latino origin, and so is that represented on our city council? And so do we have a representative electorate? And so the idea here would be that by dividing in districts, do you give a better chance for those populations to have access so that you have a minority-majority district.
The recent passage of the Washington Voting Rights Act of 2018 allows cities to change to district voting in general elections. Tomorrow's City Council meeting begins at 5:15 at Wenatchee City Hall. Tune in to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley tomorrow morning when Dan's guests will be City Council members Ruth Esparza and Jim Bailey to talk about the possible voting district changes. You're watching the NCW Life Evening News. Coming up next, your sports update with Eric Granstrom and our feature story tonight. That and much more still to come on the NCW Life Evening News. Stay with us.
Eastern Washington. It's a great place to call home and a great time to own a home. It's the ideal place to lay down roots for your family and your future. Gisa Credit Union thinks Eastern Washington is a great place to own a home too. That's why we offer all kinds of home loans with personal attention every step of the way. We're your home. For home loans, we're Gisa Credit Union.
Vominos junk haulers, big or small, they haul it all. Vominos junk haulers are experienced at hauling junk from your household items to yard and construction debris. That old hot tub and eyesore, Vominos will make it Vominos. Recycling is a priority to Vominos junk haulers. They'll haul away your old appliances and electronics. And for the do-it-yourselfers, Vominos Junk Haulers also rents trucks and trailers. Call Vominos Junk Haulers and Moving Service today to schedule your free estimate.
I have a doctor who knows what they're talking about.
It's just so much more hands-on and friendly than anywhere else I've ever been.
It's really great to walk into somewhere where you feel welcomed and you feel accepted.
We've just been grateful for the care and respect that we've been given there.
And here when I come to visit my doctor, I'm not afraid to ask questions.
It's not just about getting you in and out.
I love my care at CVCH. It's awesome. Give it a try.
It's a sports update on the NCW Life channel.
And a happy hump day. The youngsters from throughout the Pacific Northwest are at the Wenatchee Racket and Athletic Club this week for a big tennis tournament. Our own Megan McPherson has the story.
Hey guys, Megan here with the NCW Life channel. We are here with Shaul Grobla, the tennis director of the Rack. Shaul, can you tell us what's going on this week?
Yes, we're having a big junior tennis tournament called the Local Tel Juniors. And this is catering to all the kids in the Pacific Northwest. They're playing a sanctioned event, which means that their results will be count towards ranking points for the entire state.
Wow! And what are the age groups here?
All right, we start with the youngest age group is 10 and unders. Our youngest player is 6 years old, and all the way up to the under 18s.
And how long has this been going on for?
I've been here for 32 years, and it was going on a long time before that, so I'm not sure the exact year, but somewhere in the early 60s.
Goes on tonight till 9. Tomorrow is the last day. Wenatchee native Jacob Prater powered the Apple Sox past the Bellingham Bells 6-2 last night at Paul Thomas Senior Field. Prater, a Wenatchee High School and Everett Community College alum, current junior at Seattle University, got things going for the Sox in the bottom of the first inning.
And a 1-2 count with 2 outs. Connects on this ball. Skies in the air toward right center field. Moving back and watching it sail over the wall is the right fielder Matt. A 3-run homer, first of the season for Jacob Prater. The Sox have the lead. It's 3-1 in the bottom of the first.
There you go, Joel Norman with the call on the Apple Sox Radio Network. Video courtesy of the Apple Sox Facebook page. Prater finished tonight 2 for 4, 3 runs, 4 RBIs. Hunter Boyd improved to 3-1 on the season, earning the victory on the mound, going 6 innings, allowing 2 runs on 5 hits, struck out 7. Alec Gomez worked 3 innings of relief for his first save while striking out 5. Two teams meet again tonight, 7:05. Grady Miller facing Wesley Moore. Turning to the Les Schwab scoreboard for the rest of the West Coast League last night. Austin Feist was a home run shy of the cycle for the Corvallis Knights as the right fielder went 4 for 5 with 2 runs and a 5-4 11-inning victory on the road at Yakima Valley. Taylor Wright's RBI single scored Cody Crowder in the bottom of the 10th, and the Kelowna Falcons got by Cowlitz 4-3 at Elk Stadium. Jedediah Fagg's 2-run single in the bottom of the 10th helped erase a 1-run deficit and give Victoria a 5-4 win over Bend. Fagg also hit a home run in the game and drove in 3 RBI. Mike Perez's 3-run home run broke a 7-7 tie in the bottom of the 8th and propelled Portland to a 10-7 victory over Walla Walla. Pickles pounded out 4 home runs in the game, including Xander Clark with his league-leading 8th of the season. Non-league play last night, Port Angeles brought 10 men to the plate in a 5-run 4th inning to beat Highline 7-1. On the West Coast League schedule for today, Cowlitz is at Kelowna, Victoria hosts Bend, Walla Walla continues at Portland, Yakima Valley hosting Corvallis, and in non-league action, Port Angeles hosting Highline. 4 Apple Sox players were named to the West Coast League All-Star North Division roster on Tuesday. Curtis Bafus, Mason Marenko, Corey Meyer, and Jeremy Yellen, all selected by Commissioner Rob Nyer to represent the Sox in the Midsummer event. That will take place next Tuesday. Speaking of All-Stars, Major League Baseball is coming out with the final roster for the next week Midsummer Classic. Tonight, as of this morning, Seattle shortstop Gene Segura was still leading in the final vote candidate for the American League. Milwaukee's Jesus Aguilar was leading in the final vote for the National League. Meanwhile, on the paths last night, Albert Pujols and Cole Calhoun homered to help erase an early 3-run deficit and power the Angels past the Mariners in Anaheim 9-3. Mitch Haniger gave Seattle an early lead with a 3-run shot in the top of the first, but it was all Los Angeles from there. Angels teed off on Mariners starter Mike Leake, who just went 4 innings, allowed 7 runs, 11 hits. Manager Scott Servais says it makes a couple outings in a row now that Leake has not had his usual stuff.
We got off to a good start, obviously. We were on Richards early. Haney put a good swing on to get the 3-run homer. But, pitching-wise, not our night. Mike Leaker had a tough time getting the ball down and keeping it out of the middle of the plate. So, been a couple of rough outings for him, and he had such a long stretch where he was so consistent, really on top of it. It was 6-7 innings every time out. So, we got to get him back on track. Really important part of our starting rotation and our pitching here going forward. He's been really good the first half. Just been a little bit of a struggle for him the last couple times out.
Seattle and LA go at it again tonight, 7:07 start time. Marco Gonzalez against Jaime Barria. With Seattle's loss, we go to the Les Schwab scoreboard to see how that impacted the American League West last night. Boston won its 8th straight, downing Texas 8-4 at Fenway Park. Meanwhile, Wild won in Houston. Oakland rallied to tie the game with 4 runs in the ninth. In the 11th, Stephen Piscotty gave the A's the lead with a home run. But in the bottom of the 11th, Houston's Alex Bregman hit a ball that went about 5 feet. It was bouncing, goes into foul territory. The Oakland catcher picks it up, tries to tag him, misses him, throws down to first base, throws it to right field. Winning run comes home to score, and that was the game. That's sports. I'm Eric Granstrom. Grant, back to you.
Nice reenactment, Eric. Thanks. The Wenatchee Green Bag Program is gearing up for donations this weekend. The door-to-door community collection program helps support local food banks. In tonight's feature story, Kaylee Peterson of the program stopped by Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with Dan Kuntz to talk about how you can get involved.
It is designed to be a door-to-door food collection program, so a sustainable food drive. So every other month, odd-numbered months, we have these bags that we deliver to people's houses, and they're just responsible to fill the bag throughout the month. And then we have drivers, volunteer drivers, come and pick up the bags, and then we take them to the Food Distribution Center. That is also a program of the Community Action Council. And then it is again distributed to local food banks. So there's about 10 to 12 food banks that we serve. We also serve several meal programs. And so depending on what we get, it will go to those different places. And the Green Bag Program is super beneficial because it provides just an additional quality source of food. It really helps the in-between times when maybe we're not getting as much from different sources. And so we always recommend that people who fill the bags put in whatever they would buy for themselves. Of course, it needs to be non-perishable. The top recommendations are always condiments and cans of soup and things
something that would balance out a diet as opposed to just here's another can of chili and here's another can of meatballs and that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, so things that you would want to eat yourself, of course, but that are also healthy. A lot of the times our green baggers will put in foods for people who have dietary restrictions, which is super helpful because a lot of the people we serve are seniors who might have diabetes or like sugar restrictions, and so that's always super helpful to have that source of food.
The Community Action Council is looking for volunteers to both fill green bags and also drivers to help pick them up. To sign up, visit cdcac.org. We'll be back with a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast right after this.
Hi, I'm Cordell Schroeder, owner of East Wenatchee Mobile Storage.
If you're thinking about making a move anytime soon, check out the East Wenatchee Mini Storage brand new mobile storage service. They drop it off at your location, you pack it, and they pick it up and store it in their protected warehouse at East Wenatchee for as long as you need. When you're ready, they'll drop it off at your new home or office. East Wenatchee Mini Storage is excited to offer this brand new service to our region.
Call 509-884-8643 or find us on the web at ewministorage.com.
Lakeshland Mailboxes is a small place with a lot to offer. Job one is shipping and receiving from A to Z. They pack it, they label it, they ship it. But did you know we also offer notary service, online computer access, legal forms, copies, greeting cards, and of course, mailboxes. Schland Mailboxes, everything you need in one small package.
Welcome back to the NCW Life Evening News. Let's take a check now, or a peek, I should say, at our North Central Washington weather forecast. Peeking is what we do out our weather window. And let's do that first. And it was a hot one out there today, but today just the start of a very hot trend that we'll see in North Central Washington. What a beautiful shot as always from our cross camera, our Sky-Fi Tower camera, high above the Wenatchee Valley. Just a few clouds along the horizon. Other than that, clear sunny skies and temperatures on the warm side. And I'll show you how it's going to warm up as we go to our surface loop. And we'll begin with this afternoon. This is what we're seeing out there right now. Keep in mind on this temperature map, the oranges and reds are warm and hot temperatures. And as they deepen, we will see temperatures warm up as we move into tomorrow at 4 p.m. Could be the warmest day of our entire forecast period, where we'll see highs in the mid, maybe upper 90s on Thursday. Same goes for Friday. All over the Pacific and inland Northwest, we will see some very warm and even hot temperatures. A weak cold front, though, will slide down from Canada on Friday night. It's not going to do much good for us as far as cooler temperatures. It might cool us down into the lower 90s for Saturday. We will see just light winds as well on Saturday. Sunday, back to the heat once again. We'll warm from the lower 90s into the mid 90s on Sunday. Here's our 4 o'clock outlook. It will cool off to the east of us, though, notice. And then as we move into Monday, more of the same, just hot weather. And that's not unusual for us here in North Central Washington this time of year. Let's take a look at that quick lube and tune forecast now. Tonight, a very mild overnight low of 65 degrees, 96. Sunny and hot for both Wednesday, Thursday. We'll see 67 for our low temperature. I don't know if that's the right map or not, but we will see high temperatures about 95 Friday, Saturday into the lower 90s, also Sunday lower 90s. Monday back to the heat once again. We should reach about 95 degrees with sunny and hot conditions. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. Also, keep it right here on the NCW Life channel tomorrow morning for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with host Dan Kuntz and News with Steve Hare. Thanks for joining us and have a great night.
This is TV. This is TV Set Free. TV everywhere from Localtel sets you free to watch what you want, where you want. Catch your favorite networks, including live TV, ready to watch on any web-connected device for no extra charge. That's TV Set Free. Enjoy the extra value Localtel delivers with TV everywhere. Visit localtel.net and sign up today.
Walk and Roll Wenatchee's Asian Express is fast, fresh food. Wenatchee Roll's new Poke Hawaiian Fresh Salad Bar is the best. Fresh greens, fresh seafood, and handmade sauces. You know what you want. At Walk and Roll, create your own style meal. Hot off the line chicken, beef, and veggie plates. Lunch or dinner to match your appetite. Fresh sushi, hot entrees, Poke Fresh Salad Bar. It's new. It's Walk and Roll Wenatchee, fast, fresh food your way. Located on
The all-new Yamaha Wolverine X4 offers 4 times the proven off-road capability, 4 times the comfort, and 4 times the confidence to deliver 4 times the excitement on your next outdoor adventure.